Welcome. My name is Brianna Santoro, founder of thenakedlabel.com, and I'm here with Miss Jesse Schelew from Out to Lunch Creations. You can find her at outtolunchcreations.com. She is a fantastic nutritionist and also one of the contributors in my new book, Get Naked in the Kitchen. Woo! So today we're going to be making an awesome dessert recipe because we love dessert. Do we not love dessert?
Love
right?
it.
And when we start to eat healthy, it doesn't mean that we can never eat dessert again. I think that's a big myth that people think about. They think,
totally.
Oh, I'm going to eat healthy. It just means that I'm only going to eat salad for the rest of my life and I'm never going to be able to have dessert. My sweets are out the window, and that's really just not the case. We are going to be making today the Cherry Macaroons from page 168 in the cookbook. And these taste absolutely incredible, and one of the best things about them is they're so easy to make.
So easy.
You don't have to slave all day over making a dessert, and you can have your little sweet treat after dinner as well. So just before we dive into actually making these, Jesse, I want you to talk a little bit about healthy desserts. What kinds of things can we use to sweeten them? And just tell me a little bit about them, because you love desserts too.
I love dessert. I come from a family of what we like to call sugar busters.
Ooh,
we're
sugar
obsessed.
busters.
We have dessert for breakfast, lunch, dinner. It is out of control. But it's not good for you. Like, sugar is so acidifying in your body. It just leaches all the minerals out of your bones, and it's just not a good place. So I've been trying really hard recently to kind of break those sugar busting habits. But there's a lot of things you can do to have healthy desserts, as Brandon was saying. So in this recipe, we're sweetening with cherries, which are a nice fruit, and they have a lot of fiber in them. And why fiber is great is it's going to slow the release of the sugar into your system, so you don't get that insulin spike, that sugar high where you go all crazy, and then the slump like a half an hour later. And we're also using maple syrup, which is great because it has vitamins and minerals. So where white sugar has nothing, it's pretty much like an anti-nutrient. We have vitamins and minerals here in the maple syrup, so it's not going to have to pull from our bones and our muscles to create balance in our bodies, which is really cool.
Great. And being one of my fellow Canadians, we are really into maple syrup up here. We absolutely love it. So this is not the Aunt Jemima table syrup stuff you find in the grocery store. That is a no-no. This is pure maple syrup, literally from the tree, maple tree. They boil it down and make this delicious syrup.
So honey is another great one. If you get unpasteurized raw honey, it has a lot of really good healing properties. It's antibacterial. Great if you're getting a cold. You can have like a glass of warm water with some lemon, some honey in there. It's really going to be nice.
And what do we need to know about buying honey? What kind of honey should we buy? Any kind?
Well, it's nice to find the local, if you can find the local, and then again the unpasteurized. So when it's pasteurized, they heat it to high levels and it destroys a lot of the health properties of the honey.
Yeah, and the cool thing about honey is the one food that actually doesn't go bad. So we don't need to pasteurize it because it's going to last forever. It's so healthy.
So good. And then one of my other favorite sweeteners I have here is stevia.
I call it stevia.
I say stevia. The stevia is really great. You can see here it's just a powder. It's a leaf that they dehydrate and then ground up into a powder. It has 0 calories and 0 glycemic index, so it's not going to spike your blood sugar, which is really cool. And I love it. So when you're buying it, I would recommend looking for the green kind. They sell a lot of kinds that are white, or they've been processed and they've had add-ins and stuff, so you want to stay away from that. So 1 teaspoon of this is equal to a cup of regular sugar.
Okay, so maybe we should explain to everyone why we're so dolled up today. I mean, they might be thinking we dress like this to cook in the kitchen all the time. Of course we do.
I do. I don't know about you, Brianna.
Oh, of course. Every day. Every day.
I do a little primping before you get into the kitchen.
All right, so we have our Valentine's Day colors on today, and that is because, fill us in on why you created this recipe.
So I wanted something fun for Valentine's Day. At our family, we had a tradition where we'd have this big box, and everybody during the week would kind of sneak little treats and little notes for each other, and then on Valentine's Day we'd open it up, and it was just a nice family tradition. So a lot of the things I got in the box were chocolates and candy, and again all the sugar that my family's obsessed with. So I wanted to create something healthier that was kind of festive colors, has some cherries in there, and give it some red. So yeah, that's how this recipe happened. I actually tried it with goji berries, which are beautiful red. Yeah. But when you soak them, they turn bright orange.
Right. Good for Halloween.
Yeah, great for Halloween. So it works really well with this recipe, but it's orange, so.
All right,
We'll stick to
so
the
I
cherries.
can hardly wait to get started. What are we gonna do? What's up first?
Okay, so the first thing we did was we soaked a cup of cherries in water. And this just loosens them up, so that way when we process them in the blender, it's a little bit easier to break apart. So we'll start with that. And before we do that, I'm gonna add a quarter of a cup of the soaking water. So, and then the rest of them I'll just drain. Next, we're gonna add a third of a cup of maple syrup. Next, we're gonna use some vanilla extract. We're doing 1 teaspoon. Finally, we're gonna add one of my favorite things in the world, coconut oil. So I have it here. I like to melt it on the stove. So during the summer months, it'll be liquid. Winter months, it tends to be a little bit more solid. So I don't like to throw it in the microwave or anything like that. I have the oven preheating already, so there's heat coming off the stove. You can just put it in a little pot and have it melt without using any extra electricity, which is always a bonus. So we'll put that 1 tablespoon in, and then we're just gonna blend it. So we make a nice pinkish, cherry, sugary, delicious paste. Now we have this nice paste here, and it's okay if it's a little bit chunky because then you get the flecks of color in your macaroons. And I'm gonna use my pink spatula.
And I was gonna say, I don't know if you know this about me, but pink is my absolute favorite color, so
Me
I'm
too.
super jealous of for sure right now. And the fact that you have a pink spatula. I have a pink knife. I even have pink, like a hammer, a pink screwdriver, like a pink toolbox. I'm all
Amazing.
about pink.
Next we do the coconut. We love coconut. There's 2 cups of coconut in here. And finally, we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm an eyeballer, so we'll just kind of put some in there. And we're using Himalayan pink salt, which is, it's really good for you. It has a lot more minerals than your regular table salt. And yeah, and it's pink.
And it's pink, come on.
Most important part.
Establish how much we love anything pink.
And once this is nice and stirred, it's kind of an interesting recipe. It seems like it's not gonna work, but it does. So it does stay together, I promise you. So now we're gonna scoop these into our macaroons. So I like to use the 1 tablespoon measure. It's great because there's always like a little bit of coconut oil left in there, so make sure it doesn't get stuck. So you take a scoop and then you wanna really pack it in. And this is what makes them stay together, just by pressing it together. And all the yummy goodness of the cherries and the maple syrup is gonna help keep it there. So then once you got that, you flip it on your tray and give it a little knock. Sometimes it can be a little stubborn. And then you have a cute little macaroon. And you don't have to worry about spacing these out because they don't really change shape at all as they're cooking. All right, so these guys are ready to go in the oven.
They look so amazing.
And we're putting them in at 300 for about 25 minutes or until they have like a nice golden brown bottom.
Now comes the fun time. What are we making?
We're making the chocolate coating or chocolate sauce that goes on top of them.
Amazing. And
So
let's look
good.
into this. We've only got 3 ingredients, which sounds really easy.
Super simple. This is so easy. So the first one, maple syrup. We've already put that in the other one. So we have a quarter of a tablespoon, half a tablespoon of the coconut oil.
Perfect.
And then we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of the raw cacao powder, and that's where the magic happens. It's full of magnesium, which is awesome. A lot of people are deficient in magnesium. This is a great way to get it. High in antioxidants. So now we're gonna whisk it together, and this gets pretty thick because we're gonna drizzle it on top. And the best part is licking the whisk. So good. So good.
Time to drizzle with chocolate. These are smelling incredible.
So all we're
can't
gonna
wait.
do now is just drizzle just a little bit on each one. And it's just enough to give you a bit of that chocolate hint and that Valentine's Day decadence.
Now it's time to eat.
Yay!
Happy everyday Valentine's Day.
Woohoo! Cheers!
Cheers. Oh my God. Delicious. Thank you so much for watching today. And Jesse, thank you so much for being
You're
here
welcome.
and showing us how treats can be so healthy and so delicious. Again, this is a recipe out of Get Naked in the Kitchen, and you can find more out about Jesse at outtolunchcreations.com. Thanks, and we'll see you later.
Bye guys!
Bye.